Today, we are going to be talking about the awesomeness of autism. First, let's discuss what this disorder is. It is diagnosed by examining the mirror neuron system and addressing the symptoms. It is a neurodevelopment disorder that includes defects in communication and regulation of emotions. Lastly, it is a complex disorder that is still being highly researched. A least restrictive environment can be very beneficial to a student with autism. It requires being in a regular classroom as much as possible. Underwood states, regardless of the disorder, the child deserves the same education as other students. Usually, to achieve a least restrictive environment, there needs to be a goal set in place. This image demonstrates what it means to have a least restrictive environment. Depending on the severity of the disorder, determines which step the student falls under. Regardless, every child should have the goal of attending general education classes. Autism symptoms depend on many different things, such as gender and the severity of the disorder. Most will experience restrictive or repetitive behaviors for interests or activities. Other symptoms may include hyperactivity, difficulty making eye contact, interpreting body language, or maintaining relationship. This is just few of the many symptoms. I included this image to showcase the 10 symptoms of autism. These are the most common symptoms a child may face: developmental learning delays, difficulty communicating, difficulty in social situations, attachment to unusual interests, difficulty understanding emotions, over or under sensitivity to light, sound, touch, or taste, repetitive movements and behavior, trouble with transitions, reoccurring sleep problems, or insufficient impulse control. With these symptoms, they can either be lower and less noticeable, or they can be enhanced depending on the severity of this disorder. As I mentioned earlier, gender can play a role in what symptoms children face with autism. For example, boys typically experience behaviors such as anger, irritability, or negative interactions with people, whereas girls experience symptoms such as anxiety, depression, and difficulty expressing emotions. According to my research, boys are 4 times more likely to be diagnosed than girls. To conclude, girls typically go undiagnosed until their adult years. An individual with autism can show many characteristics. They are known for being punctual and passionate in everyday life. Their creative nature is enhanced. If they can't verbally communicate, they can use movement or sounds to voice their opinions. My favorite example of this is seeing an autism individual not being able to communicate verbally, but they can play the piano like no other. These individuals also are not quick to judge others because they see people for who they truly are. Lastly, they have a good understanding of systems such as money or the body system. Even doctors can have autism. Treatments for autism focus on alleviating the symptoms. There is no cure for this disorder. Treatments may include behavior modification, social skills training, music therapy, speech therapy, or occupational therapy. My research states that there's no fully effective method for treatment of autism. In order to receive the best treatment, early diagnostic time, early language communication level, intelligence level, disease severity, family participation, appropriate intervention, and social support are key. These options also depend on the family's economic status, parental mentality, and the social environment. Augmented reality was created to support growth and social development for a child with autism. During a study, half of the participants relied on this technology to enhance their social skills. Augmented reality can be compared to virtual reality. In this image, it looks as if the child has on a VR set. However, it is an augmented reality set to help them enhance their social skills. Communication is a big factor for educators. When teaching in a classroom, you need to be careful speaking on sarcasms or idioms. There needs to be straightforward rules and expectations to ensure understanding. In conclusion, autism is a diverse disorder. Being autistic should not be a setback. These individuals are intelligent and extraordinary in my eyes. They typically have a talent of some sort, such as writing, singing, drawing, or playing instruments. Research guides parents and educators to help these children reach their full potential. More research is needed for the future. My future students will feel loved in my classroom, regardless of their differences. As a future educator, I want to be cautious of how I teach in case I encounter an undiagnosed child. I need to be mindful of these symptoms and advocate for my students.